Hey guys, what's up? We're back with another video on the LCS, and if you guys are not excited for this week, I really don't know what to tell you. We have 3 more weeks of the LCS summer split, and things are really heating up right now. We have so much to talk about, so let's just jump right into it. So, just to recap off of what happened last week, kind of a banger week. There's a lot of news, going around with organizations. Most specifically, some of the drama coming from CLG. They released some video with their players and basically saying like, yeah, you guys are probably all getting kicked. Not quite that, but big community backlash. And then they ended up announcing the signing of Demonte. So Pole Belter will be out of the mid lane. But honestly, this one caught me by surprise, given that if you look at last week, at the start of the week, they were actually able to take the win off of TSM. I believe they did lose to FlyQuest, they did lose to Take and Toss, but I mean, the roster has shown potential, so it's just surprising to me that that decision comes now rather than way earlier. Makes you wonder kind of the motives of CLG and obviously the video itself. I think they were trying to be transparent, but it just came off in the wrong way. Really not great, not a great look from the organization, but teams make mistakes. Other than that, though, throughout the week, actually, if we want to talk about FlyQuest was able to beat C9. Golden Guardians beat 100 Thieves. So I mean, there was like so many upsets along the way this week. We saw EG continuing their insane. I think they're on what, like an 8 or a 9 game win streak right now. Team Liquid seems to be coming back to form. They were able to pick up 2 wins, and then obviously they did drop the game again to Golden Guardians, but Golden Guardians looks kind of good now. It's crazy to me because they just picked up Licorice, and then all of a sudden they're like not a bad team. It's really, really interesting. Like FlyQuest and Golden Guardians both look better now with the exchange of Licorice. So kind of surprising stuff there. In terms of storylines, like I said, I think that the biggest one in the LCS right now is just how good EG look. And if you look at the standings right now, I believe they are. Yeah, so they're tied for third place right now with C9 and TL, which was kind of the case. I know I talked about this a lot, but in the spring split, you had all these teams just lumped in together in that like third or fourth place spot, and it was really, really hard for us to tell like who was actually the top team. And we're kind of in that situation again. 100 Thieves had a few weeks of dominance, along with TSM, and now things are starting to get a little bit muddier in terms of, okay, who is actually the team that's going to be representing NA, after the split ends. Obviously now we're getting ready to go into playoffs. We have about 3 more weeks left in the split. So honestly, I feel like it could be any of these teams. It could be 100 Thieves, TSM, EG, Cloud9, Team Liquid. It really just depends on who brings their best games in the upcoming week. And it doesn't sit extremely well with me, when you see a team like Team Liquid just dropping games to Golden Guardians. So, I mean, Golden Guardians are, Team Liquid and Cloud9 are probably, I think, the lowest on that list in terms of actually being able to get back up to where they were. Part of that is, Santorin being out for Team Liquid. For Cloud9, I don't know, they need to mesh better and get their synergy back on point, but it might just be too late at this point. Honestly, if you had asked me my favorite in terms of all these teams, like who do I personally want to, see do really well in playoffs, I think it's EG. I think EG is going to be coming in extremely hot into playoffs. I do worry a little bit for them, in the BO3 format, because I think that, if they're on the top of their game, then obviously you can't just like figure them out and like they're, in general, they're macroing better than everyone else right now. Like, they're very exciting to watch. The individual skill level is there, but also like the team fighting and everything else is basically good for EG. They're just playing really, really well as a unit. So I do think EG is probably the team to look out for me. Under them, I would probably put TSM just because, I mean, they got Coach Bjergsen. TSM seems to always, defy expectations and do really, really well in playoffs. And then 100 Thieves. And it's weird because obviously, like, that's reverse order from where they are now in the standings, but yeah, at this point, the standings only tell you so much. You got 100 Thieves at a 25-11 record, but what does that record actually look like, in the spring split? Or, excuse me, in the summer split, because that's in, the record carries over now, that's part of the new changes for this year. So it's hard to tell who some of the most consistent teams have been. And I think I should be able to pull it up. I did want to talk about standings. So currently, the overall standings are as follows. You have TSM in first with the 25 and 11 record, followed by TSM in second, Cloud9 in third, tied with EG and Team Liquid, and then under them are Dignitas, then Immortals, then FlyQuest and CLG tied for eighth, and then Golden Guardians, or actually, excuse me, FlyQuest is in eighth, and CLG and Golden Guardians are both tied for ninth. So that tells you a little bit of the story. But obviously that's the accumulated record. But if you look at the record for summer, things look a little bit different. So, 100 Thieves is at 14 and 4. So I believe that they would still be on top in terms of record-wise. But under them is TSM at 12 and 6, and then EG at 12 and 6, and then Team Liquid at 10 and 8, Cloud9 at 9 and 9, Immortals at 8 and 10, Dignitas at 7 and 11, Golden Guardians at 7 and 11, FlyQuest at 6 and 12, and then Counter Logic Gaming at 5 and 13. So you can see, like, these records are just so deceiving because, in general, like, it's like almost like completely, the bottom half of the table is almost completely flipped. So like EG is right now on par with TSM in terms of if you look at the summer standings, but obviously the records have carried over from the first part of the season. It's like EG is totally a team that you should not be ignoring for any reason whatsoever. And I also think that there's a point to be made about 100 Thieves' record. A lot of those wins were from the start of the summer split. And are they still like the same team now? There's probably that's probably pretty debatable. Either way, I wanted to take a look at the matchups for this week just before we go. So I don't actually have time to go through every single matchup and give my predictions on each one. In terms of overall schedules, though, I will say that I think TSM has a fairly manageable schedule this week. 100 Thieves does as well. I think EG's schedule could be a little tricky here and there. I think the Golden Guardians match may give them some issues, but overall it should be fine. I expect Team Liquid to really struggle this week. They play TSM, they play 100 Thieves, so I'm a bit worried for Team Liquid this week in terms of they need, they have games that are basically must-wins at this point. Other than that, I think CLG might, maybe it's like a 1 and 2 week from CLG. FlyQuest probably 1 and 2, maybe worse. It's hard to tell. FlyQuest plays really good teams like 100 Thieves and EG. But anyways, should be an interesting week for us. That is all I got for you guys, and we'll catch you in the next one.